If you're a heat and air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, why is it important for you to count more wins than losses? And why does this matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Sylvan Bell, coming to you live from Austin, Texas, on a perfect day to talk about sales and business and a fantastic day to talk about you. All right, so the reason that I said that you really need to count your wins more than your losses comes to some simple math. When you take a look at most industries, a base closing rate is somewhere around 30%. So 30% of the time is what the expectation is of somebody to close a deal. So a lot of times in in-home services, the average closing rate is between 27 and 33%. And so like when you take a look at it, that means that you're gonna have one win for every 2 losses. But it's human nature for us to talk about all the losses that we have, all the reasons why it went wrong. And so there's nothing that'll put you into sales sabotage faster or into a sales slump faster or mess with your mental toughness is to have a dip in your numbers when you have a historical closing rate. Let's say you get to a 50% closing rate, psh, high five, you got this, right? You get to a 50% closing rate, that's amazing because that means 1 out of every 2 appointments that you go to, you're getting a yes from your client. But it's really easy for you to start looking around and going, what am I doing wrong? Because you're not looking at an entire month. What you're doing is you're looking at a day or a week. So I have this belief. 1 day doesn't make a week. 1 week doesn't make a month. 1 month doesn't make a quarter. 1 quarter doesn't make a year. And the reason why this becomes super important to you is if you go down the path of freaking out and saying, hey, I messed up and I suck, instead of going, this is normal. These are the numbers. I'm going to go in, I'm going to role play. I'm going to go in and I'm going to talk to a coach. I'm going to go in, I'm going to talk to a mentor. I'm going to go right along with the closer. You start looking for all the reasons why everything is wrong. Okay, I suck at sales because I have no hair. Well, I got a little bit of hair today. I suck at sales because I'm tall. I suck at sales because I got big cheeks. I suck at sales because I've got wide shoulders. Like, none of that makes sense. None of that has anything to do with your closing rate, but you start looking for all the reasons why you have a problem. And the important thing for you is to celebrate every win and talk about your wins. There's nothing wrong with patting yourself on the back and being like, I'm a closer, I get stuff done, I make deals happen, I have a higher average, I've got a higher closing rate, or I'm on my way to being a closer, I do this many deals. You know, society's gonna tell you like, hey, you know what, you're too conceited, have some hubris. But at the end of the day, they're not the ones out there closing deals. They're not the ones out there asking for business. It's perfectly acceptable. And this right here is why you should join my email publication. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel. There is nothing wrong with bragging that you're good at sales, right? Just don't say if you're a closer if you're not a closer. Now, you can say you're good at sales, like I'm good at sales, but if you're not a closer, you're not a closer, okay? Here is what you do. You keep a gratitude journal because there's gonna be a point where the sales gremlins get you, and just statistically speaking, you're on the carousel and you lose some deals. It's going to happen. It happens to the best of us. It happens to all of us. And there's gonna be a day where you wake up and you're like, I can't get anything going. Okay, hey, I'm gonna say, look, sales dude, hey, look, sales chick, perfectly fine, perfectly normal, but what is your routine, right? What's your routine to get back into shape? What's your routine to make sure that you're not struggling? So my answer to this is you always make a recording. Always make a recording of your sales presentation when you're at the top. Always make a recording of your sales presentation before you change anything. And here's the opposite of that. Always make a sales recording at the bottom. So here's what you're gonna have, is you're gonna have 2 recordings. One's gonna be longer than the other. I guarantee the one when you're at the top is gonna be longer. The one when you're at the bottom is gonna be shorter because you're speeding up your process dial to get done so that you can ask for the sale, so that you can get away from your client, so that you can ask for another sale. But you gotta remember, you gotta dance with the one that brought you. You got one person that you're sitting there and they're the person, have that conversation with them. That's super importante, right? So if you're gonna celebrate all wins, do it in a meaningful way. Like there's nothing wrong with beating your chest like I'm the greatest salesman alive, right? That's what it takes for you to get pumped. That's what it takes for you to get pumped. Nobody goes to a football player and goes, hey, I see you're in the locker room and you're overly excited and you're celebrating too much. Do you really think you're gonna win that game? No, that's what it takes for them to get in their position. Baseball players do it, hockey players do it. Why is it wrong for salespeople or entrepreneurs? It's not. You have to celebrate wins. You have to get excited. But you know what? You have to be a normal person when you go talk to somebody face to face. You got 1 of 3 things to do from here. Just 1 of 3. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you will get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, you know what you got to do. Share this video with a friend. They'll love you. I'll love you. We'll see you soon.